GLAMOROUS. Yeah. Woo! G's class. Up in the sky.
Champagne.
Living your life, I think. Guys,
it's all about the glamour.
It sure, as you can tell. Welcome into So Happy You're Here podcast. I'm Erin. This is Becky. We've got a glamorous two episodes for you.
Yes.
I'm just going to tell you right now. Our special guest is our fashion flash. It is Nick Verreos from season 2 of Project Runway.
Yes, that Nick Verreos.
Nick Verreos, who is now a consulting producer on Project Runway.
The fashion daddy.
Nick, yes, he has Fashion Daddies podcast. He had a great collection at our former network. He has written a book. He has a YouTube series. You can follow him, find it all in our
You're going to get
show
history.
Notes. He gives us, you guys, I did not know his background.
No, it's so cool, you guys. It really is. This is why a longer form podcast is necessary.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was telling us about his parents and grandparents. Yeah. And I was like, my parents grew up on a cow farm.
Right.
Do
you have any? I'm not going to get into
that. So anyway, it's really fun to hear from him. I mean, he is a blast, and we have 2 hours diving into his life. So that's what's coming up. But we thought we would touch base first, just, us OGs, us besties.
How many emails can one person get? How many DMs? How many comments?
We're trying to, walk the high line.
And still we rise.
Yeah.
And still we're trying. We rise above.
We're trying to be the better people, and you guys won't let us be. This is your fault, because here we are trying to take the high road. Here we are. No, we're not going to
take the high road, and I'll take the low road.
Yeah,
and
you guys are making us take the low road.
Let's talk about Shop HQ.
Okay, so a million of you keep texting, emailing, sending DMs. Just give us your thoughts on the reincarnation of Shop HQ. I can't even say it without laughing.
Okay, here's what we know. And by the way, we don't know anything more. We don't work there anymore. No. Big surprise.
As a reminder, you find us here because we don't work there anymore.
Well, we still get notes saying, what time's your show on?
Totally. Haven't seen you on Saturday mornings in a while. That's because the show doesn't exist, my dear friends. But we've been getting a lot of requests.
Yes.
So Becky's going to tell you what we know. Here's what I'm going to tell you, though, just to get inside of our brains.
Yeah.
Scary. Hold tight. You've been warned.
Bring a Swiffer.
Totally. Some cobweb clearers. Bring a vacuum. When Becky and I went through our 13 stages of grief, starting last December and then really coming to fruition.
Oh, I thought you were going to say starting with rage.
Starts and ends with rage. When we started all of this last December, moving into February, March, we went through all the stages of rage. And
she went through it, and then she went through it with me. And then we would go through it with the next person who left.
And so then we were like, this is great. We're good. We're in a good spot.
Totally.
We didn't want to dip our toe back into
the murky waters.
Yeah. We didn't want to get back. I'm a big believer in you are what you surround yourself with, people and otherwise.
Yes.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm good.
We're
on
good.
The opposite end of that. Yeah. But then you guys have been harassing us.
Well,
we also full harassment.
We also didn't know we were going to see a post that said back and better than ever.
So now you tell them. We were just as shocked as all of you.
So I think the first time it came into my sphere was just on Instagram, just big things coming. Now I just want to go back a little bit. We got to go back to go forward.
Okay.
So when we left, what was happening is we were purchased by a new owner. That was probably an 18-month journey with that new owner.
Journey's a nice word.
We started around the new year, started to notice that things are going to be different. We bowed
drastically.
out. Yep. We said, thank you, no. They continued on for another 6 weeks after I left. So by April, I think all of the WARN notice, the 60 days to leave the building people were gone. The final people that chose to stay were seated in a room and told, your card key doesn't work anymore, get out. That was it.
See you later.
When you hear that, when you're watching just like any scary movie, that's it. The bad guy is gone. The police come. They're cleaning up the crime scene.
Right, you made it to the end of the haunted house, and now you see it actually is daylight.
But wait, jump scare. Hang on, it's not over. The bad guy's not dead. He is buried, but he's climbing out from under the ground, and he's back, and it's still scary. And so it's It's back. Just like any good Halloween movie.
And you don't know why you keep going into that haunted house, but you do.
Yeah. Come this way, guys.
You get sucked right back in. I don't know. So that's how we both found out.
Yes. And what we do know happened is the parent company that bought Shop HQ, 2 years ago now, probably, is still the owner. So of the groups that they own, they have multiple entities. The Arena Group is who is managing this version of Shop HQ. So they bought the IP, the intellectual property. They bought the name, the idea of Shop HQ.
Yeah.
And must have some product to move.
Right. Now, Becky loves playing this game of how many items are there actually there. Mm-hmm. So as of this recording, it looks like Invicta's back.
We saw Invicta Ryan. Mm-hmm.
It looks like Christopher and Banks is available on Shop HQ.
But that's a separate entity as well.
But they're also owned by the same parent company.
Exactly right.
So Christopher and Banks is its separate company owned by the same parent company. And then it looks like they've brought in some home decor.
And they owned Peace Jewelers, so that'll be available.
Yep, they owned that. Mm-hmm. So people have been saying, like, should we trust it? Guys, I don't know that Becky and I are the right people to be asking that. We have...
They Shopify the web, which is good. That's a trustworthy site. So Shopify runs a lot of businesses back end. And so when you see the Shop app, it's purple. It's not Shop HQ. Shop runs multiple vendors.
Tons of things.
You could go through that.
By the way, in the 5 minutes that Becky was here before we started recording, about 6 deliveries that showed up at my front door. I know.
You're very familiar with
I know what that purple little, what are they called?
Icon.
Yes, icons. Yeah. I know what that purple icon looks like.
And it's trustworthy. So that part, when people ask us, is it real? Are they back?
But then when they're like, is this new product or has it been sitting in a warehouse?
Don't know.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I don't. The decor, I do remember right before I left, the buyers who were in place at that time had done a big home decor order. Mm-hmm. And so if I was forced to make a hypothesis, which Becky and you guys are forcing me to do.
Well, she's in the lab. Dr. Newberg.
My hypothesis would say, I bet that is stuff that they had bought.
Yeah.
When they didn't know Shop HQ was going to be shutting down.
Because as everybody knows.
That's just my guess. All this is alleged.
This is headlines and hearsay, as always. No research. Everything was sent to auction at the end. Mm-hmm. We thought everything, at least in our warehouse, was sent to auction.
So, yeah. So the Christopher and Banks stuff is obviously from their warehouse.
And that is, I think, everything that you can get on Shop that's Christopher and Banks is the same thing. So there might be offers available if you want to play it smart. There might be clearance items that Shop is going to do for maybe less. But, again, I don't know. But what I would say is it sounds like it's online only. It sounds like if you see a live presentation, it'll probably be on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook, YouTube, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's what we know.
Neither here nor there. But I have recognized in my older age... that you really are a product of what you surround yourself with.
Well, you tell the folks, you asked to be surrounded by greatness.
Do you guys want to know what happened?
She is manifesting stuff.
I don't want you guys to think like I have special powers because I don't think I do.
You think everybody has this power.
Well, I think everybody has a special power, but I have literally said out loud to anybody in the universe, like, no, thank you. I don't want it. I'm scared of stuff like that,
Yeah.
So, anywho. I think we've talked about this before, maybe not. And I even have my snake ring on. Don't worry, this is my pointer finger, not my middle finger. In January, when we were working through, utter chaos.
Right.
I had a jewelry show, either adjacent to Fatima or with Fatima. And she was talking about the year of the snake. And I was like, ew, girls hate snakes. Blah. And she was like, no, snakes are so good I think the Chinese year, please correct me if I'm saying anything wrong, Chinese year of the snake. The snake represents transformation, shedding old layers, becoming anew. And Fatima's like, I love the year of the snake because it really means something new and different. And so then I was like, well, for me, I want to shed anything that doesn't serve me, and I want to step into excellence. And I don't mean that in a arrogant way by any means, but I'm like, I want to be surrounded by excellence. Well, joke's on me. The universe took away my job. Shed anything that wasn't Excellente.
Well, and I have to say, it is interesting though how when you said that when you're opening yourself up to whatever that means.
You guys gotta be careful what you say out loud. You gotta be careful what you say in your head. I mean, I'm super thrilled. Actually, life is always right on time all the time, and it's turned out so great.
Yes.
But also, like, wow.
Be careful what you wish for.
It really did happen.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about that is I wondered if Erin just was sensing what was coming earlier. Like, I sometimes think not that you have premonitions, not woo-woo that way. I think she's just picks up the vibes earlier than I do. I'm like, what? I think everything's fine. Like, just... Do you know I need the girl in the scary movie that was like, I think this shed seems safe. The one that's
I'm going to tell you guys something about Becky. Yeah, Becky would be the one with the chainsaw and the man in a mask. Like, Erin, get over here.
This guy's got a car.
Yeah, he'll take us
anywhere.
I want to tell you guys something just between us. Like, don't repeat this, okay? I don't need... But I remember when I had decided to leave the company in 2020. And it was just time for me to take a break. And this one over here is like, no, don't you think you could just work it out? Like, Erin, and I was like, Rebecca.
She's literally going through something. And I was like, can't you just phone it in? Can't you just kind of half-ass it?
That's not happening. And I'm like,
can you feel something different?
Associate from my life? Sheesh.
Well, here's why. Because you pursue things with excellence and you put 1,000% of yourself into it, I think that's why you can. But I think a lot of people, we've worked with them, just half-ass it and phone it in.
Well, I'm not saying that I'm more excellent than others. I just want to be surrounded by excellence.
No, but I don't think you don't have another gear.
No, yeah.
It's just like...
Well, I mean, and then I asked for it and the universe delivered.
Yeah.
I think that, and here's the other thing that I want to say. I don't blame anybody for where they think they need to be now. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's a big thing. Yeah, because there are people that we know that are still, or are now there, I guess, or are still there. Go with God. God bless you. Like, no shade, no.
I actually
don't feel one way or the other about it.
I don't blame anybody. Everybody's on their own journey.
Yeah.
And what works best for some people works best for them. And I think we should all recognize this as well. This is just like more of a PSA, is that just because I want something doesn't mean I'm judging what you want.
That has nothing to... Actually, I'm not even thinking about it.
Exactly.
But I think... how many times do we have to say this? You wouldn't worry about what people thought of you if you knew how little they do.
Yes.
Like, it's literally not about you.
Exactly. So just because maybe me or Becky or somebody else...
are on a different path.
Wanted a different path, it doesn't mean we're judging people for being on other paths.
I'm so worried... figuring out how to get this podcast up week on week. I literally don't have any time,
you guys,
to think about much else.
We had no idea how much work this was going to be.
Right.
So thank you so much.
We're almost at a year though.
I know. You guys, our year anniversary is coming up. Becky put it in my mind that we should have a party.
I think we should.
Obviously, I've never said no to a party.
Yes.
We had no idea how much work this was going to be, which is the other thing. Like, we're ended up just where we should be. That's because this is so much work. And we're so thankful to all of you guys that make it worth it.
Thank you for the support.
Thank you so much. But yeah, we've got our 1 year anniversary coming up. We don't have time to work.
No.
We've got to focus on that.
So much going on.
So here's the bottom line. To each their own. We wish everybody the best.
And I do think it's safe. I mean, my ultimate, this is a real...
I think it's safe.
Shopify's a real company.
I think it's safe to shop there. I can't guarantee you where the product... People have said, are these diamonds like, okay. I'm like... I can't weigh in on that. I'm not there anymore. I don't know.
And the press release that they put out said they want to go to more of a drop ship model, which a lot of people do. I mean, we could do that too. I mean, it really is just you're partnering with somebody and that place is sending it to you. So in terms of shipping.
And that's totally normal. That's super.
They don't have a warehouse. So I don't know who's
shipping.
Yeah.
So when a few people were like, do you trust this? I'm like, I can't weigh in on that one way or the other. I'm so sorry. I would not want to lead you astray.
Yeah.
And of course, all of this, if anybody there is listening in,
allegedly,
everything's alleged.
Headlines and hearsay.
We don't know. It's headlines and hearsay. How's it going? On that note, we love all of you. We wish everybody all the very, very best wherever they're at.
Yes. And what's neat about this episode this week is we got to kind of take a walk down memory lane. We got to talk about the good old heydays of Shop HQ. Even, I forgot it was Evine that he mentioned.
Yes.
It's Nick Verreos.
Yes, so Nick Verreos really came into the public eye on season 2 of Project Runway, way back in the day when it was first, I think season 2
Did he say 05?
05 or 06.
Yeah.
He might have filmed in 05. It debuted in 06. I think that was the first year it was on Lifetime, back when Lifetime was bigger than Bravo.
Is that, wait a minute.
So.
Is that right? No, because he was saying, I'm so goofed up because it's bopped around a lot.
On Bravo.
Wow.
But I think season 2 or 3, it jumped to Lifetime, and that's where it stayed for quite some time. But he really rose to fame as like a fan favorite because he had such a great personality, was so good on camera, but also a talented designer. Yeah. He's going to take you through his whole background. It was really fun for us to catch up, and it was also a great reminder that even in some of the muck, even in some of this muck, nothing but good came out of all of this.
It's so true.
Nothing but good. And when I sent Nick a note, we stay in touch on social, but I haven't seen him since he had a collection at our old network, in 2015, 2016. Yeah. Immediate reply, yes. I mean, it's just so nice that we still have this community, but great memories, and we include all of you in that. So can't wait for you to hear. It's a 2-part episode. Yeah, because we like to talk.
We visit.
Yeah, we're visitors. So this will be the first part, and then the second part will be out quickly thereafter. We hope you enjoy. We love you so much. We're so happy you're here. Enjoy this episode. Our partners and friends at Isomer Skincare are still here to help you feel and look your best in the skin that you're in. No matter your age, no matter your skincare want or need, they have got you covered. Isomers has real chemistry. They are science-based skincare created by chemists to bring the best ingredients and the best results to your skin. What you're going to do is go to isomers.ca, use the code HAPPY20, and you're going to get 20% off your purchase. If you spend $100 or more, it's free shipping and handling, so enjoy. That's isomers.ca. It's Nick Verreos, everybody!
How lucky are we?
We are so happy you're here, handsome man. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm so excited to be here. Oh my God. I'm happy to be here.
Hey! The ladies have been waiting to hear from you. We couldn't be more thrilled to have you here. It's been a minute since we all worked together. So before we dive into everything, Nick, where are you broadcasting from? Where are you right now? Where does life find you?
I'm in Los Angeles, in sunny Los Angeles. And yeah, that's where I am, in my studio, in my design studio.
Which is fabulous.
Thank you. I think I have my Emmy behind me and my
no big
deal. No big deal. I know, fashion designer who gets an Emmy. Who knew? Not on my bingo
hard.
card.
Well, you are a quadruple threat. So I mean, and don't worry, everybody. We're going to get into the book behind him. We're going to get into the Emmys. We're going to get into the Heidi Klum of it all.
Yes.
We're going to dive all into it.
If I could have a camera turn around, but I'm staring at about 200 of our gowns that are literally behind the laptop right now, including the one dress that Katy Perry wore. Anyway, it's all the good stuff is here, all the bags and everything.
Nick, can we name more names? Can we just drop all the names? We just did one.
Beyonce.
Oh, no big what?
Carrie Underwood.
Oh, look at you.
Wait,
Marlee Matlin.
Marlee Matlin, remember?
Marlee Matlin. She was my first big red carpet, and I have a little story to tell you. Marlee Matlin, of course, Oscar winner for Children of a Lesser God, and we were reached out, and it was, of course, after Project Runway, because I was kind of a thing.
Still am.
And but I was so excited, and then I remember, they said, okay, she wants to wear one of your gowns, and it's for the, Academy Awards.
Unbelievable.
And this and that. And so, yeah, it was just so, it was such a thrill. Let me tell you, it was such a thrill because we had a couple burps before that. And then I learned my lesson. This is the dish where we had other stylists say, oh, we want this celebrity to wear your gown. We're going to pull your dresses. They come and pull, and they're going to wear it to the Oscars or wear it to this. And then, I was such a virgin to the whole red carpet thing as a designer, as a fashion designer, and the whole LA thing and stylist and this and that, that of course, the minute that happened, I would literally call everybody from here to Panama and be like, y'all need to turn on the Oscars because, you know, Becky or Aaron Newberg, Aaron's going to be wearing my gown at the Oscar. And then
they picked another dress.
Yes.
No.
And then, you know, of course, then you have to deal with the, like, you know, texting back, calling back everybody from here to Panama, telling them, you know, trying to explain. And so I quickly learned my lesson to just shut my mouth and
be surprised with the rest of all of us.
You know, and just, I didn't know. I had no idea. Yes. And so that was the moment with Marlee Matlin where I remember David and I were holding our breath up until the last minute that we literally saw her on the red carpet. We actually got a call, thank God, we got a call or a text from her stylist saying she's wearing it. Like yeah, and just like what you did, Erin. That was like, okay, we can pop the champagne, and I can call everybody from here to Panama now because it's like we knew, you know, for us it was such a big moment, and we loved her. She was so wonderful.
She looked amazing.
Her people were so wonderful. Anyway, yes,
and Nick, you're in good company because most of us met in fashion.
Yes.
You know, most of the listeners and all of us met in fashion, and truly, when you say there's gowns behind you, to me, that's like an art installation.
Yeah.
You know, some people look at it as like a dress, but you know, and we know that those dresses are pieces of art. Like they're moment makers.
And your blood, sweat, and tears.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Can we come to your studio one day? I hate to be pushy,
please.
but can we? Okay, great.
No. Yes, please. You're going to, oh my God. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking of the goosebumps that you guys would be getting.
I would die.
From just like going through them, because just like you said, we literally, we might not have sewn. We have more qualified than us seamstresses who make them. But, you know, every single one of the gowns, every single one, I've made the pattern. David has sewn the toile, what we call the muslin sample. We've gone through it. So literally, just like you said, it's like, you know how they said they include a piece of blue, a little blue ribbon, and they hide it in a wedding gown. Yeah. There's probably like pinprick blood hidden in the hem of the dress that Katy Perry wore.
Oh my
I told David that when we grow old and gray, that I would love to have an exhibition, like a gallery exhibition. You know, I may not be, you know, from Dior or so, but just to like, for our friends and family and display, because again, like I said, I'm staring at about 200 gowns and display the whole moment, you know, all the years. I mean, it's decades worth
of 40 years
dresses.
Of work. Yes.
Well, yeah.
And listen, you're an artist, just like I went to the Dior museum over in Paris, and it's art. It's art. I cried. But now when you're saying decades too, like your first dress represents a time in history too. It's not just what people wore. It was like that dress, the structure, the color, the texture, it represents what was happening in the world at that time. Yeah. So when you do get that together,
the retrospective.
Yes. We'll be the first in line. We'll sell tickets for you. Okay. We'll be the first in line.
Amazing.
We will be there. Okay. So listen, we have so much to talk about. We have so many things to talk about. We've got to get through it all, but will you take us back, Nick? Like, how did you get into this wild industry? Fashion designer, author, Emmy Award winner.
We'll go back. Go
back in our time machine. Take us back to wherever you want to start and walk us through how you got maybe up into Project Runway.
Okay. Wow. Okay. How
little
much
baby Nick.
All right, little baby Nick. Okay, I'll start with little baby Nick. So my dad was a diplomat, and he worked for the State Department.
Wow!
And he got a what he thought was a plum. He did something really amazing when he was stationed in Mexico with my mom, and he was at the embassy there. My dad is from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
By the way,
I love how you say Missouri.
Yes.
Missouri.
That's right.
And my mom is from Panama. He met her when he was working at the U.S. Embassy in Panama. He just fell in love with her, and so anyway, he did something really amazing, and like it was about like American hostages that were returned to the United States.
Oh,
this is like
wait, your dad was working on that?
My dad. Yes, and he did this sort of thing like in the 60s. It happened in the 60s, late 60s. And so this is the thing. The embassy said, "Where do you want to go?"
Oh, he gets his pick of the litter.
Like,
okay.
Yeah. So you get the pick of the litter. And Raquel, my mom.
Wait, your mom's name is Raquel?
Okay.
Yes.
Of course. I
So
see where the drama comes from. I see it.
stop.
Gorgeous.
So my mom is like, if you don't pick Paris, I'm gonna kill you. And out of the blue, my dad decided on Venezuela.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Somebody's not good with directions.
No. My mom is like, that's a different continent, but that I would have preferred, but that's okay.
But not Missouri.
Amazing. No, but not exactly, not Missouri. Obviously, even though my dad was born there, he wanted to be elsewhere. Let's just say we love Missouri, we love St. Louis. Mm-hmm. So he was in Venezuela, and because I was his firstborn, I have a sister, so it was just two of us, but I was the firstborn and the first male born. And so my dad literally put my mom on a Pan Am plane. I know I'm aging myself. From Caracas to St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh boy.
For his firstborn to be born.
Oh,
in
serious?
my dad's, yes.
Oh, because he wanted you to be born on U.S. soil.
Wow.
Yeah, on you. Oh, okay. Okay, Becky.
Was that the deal?
Yes.
Okay.
It was two. It was a twofer. It was just in case we end up in some war-torn country.
Okay.
And something happens. So it's Becky, what Becky's saying, but also I believe a lot of it, probably the majority, was his Greek,
his pride.
Firstborn pride thing.
Yes.
Where he wanted his first son, to be born in his hometown. Anyway, literally 6 months later, put me back on a plane, grew up in Venezuela, grew up there. And my mom and dad, I remember my first, instincts of loving fashion was watching my mom get ready for the diplomatic parties. And so think about the time
what
period.
A dream.
So again, I apologize, I'm aging myself, but it was the 70s. We're talking the chiffon caftan.
Yes.
I know.
A headscarf.
The headscarf, the big bouffant. I always say my mom was J-Lo before J-Lo. And my dad with the tuxedo. And you have to also imagine Venezuela. I know it's gone through some things and it's a mess now, but at the time it was the Switzerland of South America, an oil rich.
An economic powerhouse. Yeah.
Economic power. There were only 5 Dior boutiques that opened other than in Paris. And one of them, Christian Dior, purposely pointed to Caracas, Venezuela, as the one outside of Paris to be opened before anything else. So that is what I'm talking about, because there was money, there was a aristocrat, there was glamour. Yes. And so anyway, so put that all in the soup.
This is a history lesson I'm fully on board with. Yes.
That was all in the soup for everybody. And if anybody was still around in knows what I'm talking about, the 70s, the early 70s. So there's little Nick, and I was on the floor and I was drawing my mom and her outfits. And so that was my first love. And that just continued on, and it continued on when we then eventually moved to the States, because my dad said, okay, well, you've had enough of my children being brought up in, outside internationally, Venezuela. So now I want my children to get the American upbringing. So we moved to the States, to the San Francisco Bay Area. And I literally continued my passion for fashion. It was my secret hobby, my outlet. If I felt bullied, because of course I was this little gay boy that was First of all, I didn't even speak English when I came to the States,
Really?
even though I was born in the United States.
Wow.
I had to go to ESL classes. I remember, and I don't know what happened, but I remember one minute I spoke no English. The next minute I was speaking like a Valley girl. You know, it was like
was it from TV? Were you kind of raising yourself on the television?
I think a lot of it was that, and a lot of it also was like I think my sister and I were the only non-English speaking kids in the school that I somehow, even that young, I said, well, how can I, be like them, and initiate myself into the culture. And I said, I bet I'm going to learn English as fast as I can. But the whole time I remember just after school, I would just go to my room and I would lay in bed and I would just draw. And to this day, my mom sent me all my sketches when I was like 12, 14, all these very rudimentary sketches. And I would go into another, this is what fashion did to me. It took me to another world. And so, 30 years later, for when I sold to Yvonne, when I do my gown, I want to take women to another world because I know that fashion, no matter what it is, can be transformative. It can change you. I always like to say it can give you an ego boost. It does that for me when all of a sudden I'd be feeling not so cute and fat and whatever. And I put on a double-breasted jacket. I'd be like, ooh, she cute. And so I know that. And so for me, I love it as a young child, as a young boy, that fashion did that to me, where it just took me out of whatever I was going through in elementary school. And the kids being like, ooh, there's the non-English speaking kid, that I would just go to my world and draw collections. I pretended to be Pierre Cardin. I pretended to be a designer, and I had that outlet. And it was this is way before now I didn't even realize it was bullying. I didn't realize. Right. And thank God, actually, I didn't have the internets I had my colored pencils and my paper and my world of these pretend model women that I would draw. And the most loving thing, and it's almost going to make me cry, that my mom supported it. Yeah. My dad did too, but he was, he's the Greek. He was more quiet supportive of it. But my mom, she was more, I would say more, she put it into actions, and I didn't realize until later, because I would come home and there would be a new pad of drawing paper.
Oh, here's some more pencils. Here's more tools.
And she nurtured it. She nurtured
Becky, Erin.
Yes.
I mean, and can I tell you that I think is the nucleus of why I love the moms so much, because that sort of instinctive nature of Raquel to nurture, to water this little boy, to put water into this little boy's life. I know I'm sounding so blah blah blah.
It's beautiful.
I love it so much.
I'm sorry.
Well, we have boys too, Nick. So you're speaking to our mama heart too. I love it.
That she, just like you said, Becky, that literally there would be like new, because I would use them up, there would be new Prismacolor pencils that she would buy for me. And so that's the way she supported. Then I would go into the supermarket, and it was the Safeway. I remember this, the Safeway supermarket. I would come along with my mom, and then she would go, she would do the shopping, and I would run to the magazine section, and I would secretly tuck in a Vogue inside a Sports Illustrated.
Well, it was the 70s after all.
Yeah. And to look at it. And then thank God my mom started buying them I would go, Mommy, and she would buy them for me. Anyway, so that's how my love, I think, that's really how my love of fashion started. And it continued. And I continued to draw. I continued to look. But for me, it was really, I didn't really particularly think I could be a fashion designer, and I really didn't know what that meant. I remember asking in senior year, when you're supposed to choose, in high school, where you're going to go to college. Everybody's thinking about it. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And I remember talking to a counselor, and they asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I want to be a fashion illustrator, because I knew I had been drawing since, I told you now since I was, 4. And so, and I knew I was kind of good at the.
You can claim
stop.
it. Do it.
Stop.
Yes.
We
know it.
And the only stop it. The only way I kind of knew is because I would look at my sister's drawings. I'd be like, "Ooh, those are sketchy."
Bless her heart. Yep.
And only a big brother can do that and still be loved. Yes.
I'd be like, that's not where the breasts go. I'm just gonna. Anyway, so I don't know. I just wasn't ready to say I want to study fashion design. I really didn't know. So, but I thought of all things, fashion illustrating. And I remember the counselor said, "There's no jobs in that."
Really?
Even in San Francisco, that seems so short-sighted, doesn't it?
Yes. So it sort of hit me. And so then I decided, okay, well, what's my next step? Oh, okay, my dad's a diplomat, State Department. You know what? I'm just going to study political science.
Wait,
international relations.
Okay.
Me.
All right. I mean.
Well, now let's talk about granddaddy. Let's talk about abuela.
Right. Abuelo.
Abuelo had a little bit of a gig that might have, encouraged such work.
I must not know this.
Well, yes. So not only was my dad in the embassy world and State Department world, but my mother, actually, her family, she came from, I would say, political aristocracy in Panama. So we, in our family, the Arias de la Iglesia family, as I believe we've had maybe 6 or 7 presidents of Panama,
of the country,
including my grandpa, Arnulfo Arias, who is president of Panama. And so on top of all that, my mother had that provenance of coming from that kind of an illustrious family. And in fact, her great uncle was the ambassador to the court of St. James in England, and he married prima ballerina Margot Fonteyn.
Margot Fonteyn? What? This is fabulous. You have to write a book, Nick. You have got to write a book about all this.
And you're married into Margot Fonteyn. What? Oh my word!
It's so cool. We're fangirling over here.
No.
Stop! I'm so
humble about all of this. You've never even told us this.
So you knew more about politics. It probably did make sense.
Yeah, like diplomacy and politics. It runs in your blood.
It was one of those things because, again, I of course love fashion, but I would also I always had an atlas with me, and it was, I think that was the influence from my dad, where he taught me get to know the world. Yes. So that was his influence, where my mom gave me the Prismacolors. Yes. My dad was more about get to know the world, you know? And I sometimes I'm really telling you stuff.
It's just us friends. Don't worry about it.
I would include it in my fashion drawing. So when I was bored with making actual fashion collections, pretending to be doing a collection for my Paris fashion show, I would draw every contestant from Miss Universe.
Each country.
Yes. Why weren't we growing up together? Because I would have sat right next to you and told you every detail.
Erin, I'm not just gay, I am super gay. I need a cape. I need a super gay.
You want an SG,
right? So it mixed my love of fashion, and also I believe my love of international countries and knowing where they were. So I literally would draw every contestant, and I would dress her in the costume.
The country costume?
Yes. Stop.
Yes.
And the evening gown, of course. Competition, because then I got to design, but I got to design the costumes as well.
Nick, this is a lot of work. That's a lot.
Necessary work, obviously.
I literally taught myself international geography as a 14-year-old. So don't even try to ask me where the island of Réunion is.
And what her country costume would be.
And what her country costume, and what percentage of the population and the ethnical background of each and every. I mean, I literally. So so threw all that in. So of course I was like, okay, I'm going to study international relations. So I ended up going to UCLA, and I got accepted to Berkeley and UCLA, which is really weird, because. I don't know. Something must have happened with them SAT scores, because they got mixed up.
You're being modest.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. You're a smarty.
I think it also helped that I spoke fluent Spanish.
Sure.
And English. So I thought, okay, maybe that'll help me in the future, being a diplomat, this and that. So I ended up in UCLA. I guess I don't have to ask or tell you what you think Nick at UCLA did during his lecture classes.
Maybe
Sketchpad.
Drew new outfits for your professor. Outfits that would help them feel happier and give out better grades.
Do you know what she needs? A headdress.
Yeah. This lecture would feel so much better with like a train in the back of it. Don't you think?
I mean, can it just be so obvious? So yes, I was sitting there in like, it would be like the conflict between Eritrea and Somalia and Ethiopia, some serious lecture about international politics in the Horn of Africa. And Nick Verreos would be doing couture collections. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Nick, when did these come off the page into fabric? Or were they always limited to?
Only paper.
Okay.
They were only paper until. So finally, of course, after so many, even my students next to me, they literally would be nudging me, and they're like, Nick, what you doing here?
You're dressing all the first ladies, the first lady from every country.
It was crazy. And finally, it was one of my last classes. I was about to graduate with a degree, bachelor's degree in political science, international relations. And it was one of like an elective class. You know how you take those elective? And it was, of course, I picked opera.
As one does.
Yes. And you sat there. Imagine UCLA. Imagine being in a big amphitheater, and literally the classes, you have to listen to opera and talk about it like it's World War III, like the meaning of every single. Anyway, there was the final presentation, like you had to do a final paper, and everybody's just doing typical paper, like the meaning of Carmen and the bullfight and this and that. And I approached my instructor, the teacher, and I said, can I do a paper on the costumes?
Well, oh, smart.
I love this.
So smart.
Yes. And so I did a paper, and I got an A.
Of course.
And of course, he basically commented, and he's like, you need to go to fashion school. Like, you need to get out. You need to leave. Get your diploma.
I say this with love, but get out of here.
Yes. Exactly. And so that's what happened. And so then I said, I'm no shoulda, woulda, coulda. I'm just going to do it. And I applied to all the top schools, Parsons, FIT, FIDM, everywhere. And at the time, all you had to do was, turn in sketches.
Yes.
And do a portfolio with sketches and all that. So that's the only way that they, and I had not sewn. And just like, to your note, Erin, I had not created anything.
Yes.
I remember we had a sewing machine at home, like that my grandma gave to my mom, but it never occurred. I mean, that's why I said I asked my counselor in high school, oh, can I be a fashion illustrator? Because I'm like, I ain't sewing no dresses. What are you talking about? What? I gotta sew these things?
More blood.
No. And so, yeah, so then but I said, I'm just going to do it. And so this was the test, because, if your parents love you, your parents have to tell it's part of who they are to tell you that you're good.
That's right.
That you're
it's
good
in the job
whatever.
description.
That's right.
Thank you. And so, the only people that I would hear to tell me, other than this teacher, that you're kind of good at this, would be my mommy and daddy and stuff like that. But I had to hear it from professionals. And so then when I got the applications back and they all accepted me, I said,
Nick.
Okay, it's one thing, like I said, to have mommy and daddy go, oh, my Prince Nick, he's so good. He's such a good designer. And but then to hear from actual, people. And I said, okay, then that's it. I'm going to do it. And so I decided I decided on FITM because I was already in LA.
Yes.
I was at UCLA, and I had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
I created a home for myself, and I didn't feel like moving again and going to New York. And so I really love LA.
Yes.
And so I decided to stay, and that's when it happened. And I just started sewing. I started making stuff, and long story short, did the whole thing, and I went right into working in the industry. Like right as I then 30 years later told my students, and I went in there and did every single job, whoever wanted to hire me. I did an assistant designer. I mean, everything. And, I remember one of the first jobs I was getting $400 a week. Okay. And I was excited, honey, I was excited, because first of all, I just wanted to not have my parents keep depositing money in my Bank of America accounts, like if I was going to be a college age person and I wanted to party, and as they are wont to do, and go out, I didn't want, daddy and mommy to be like, why are you negative in your bank account, Nick?
Right. You got your own martini money.
Yes.
Thank you. That's right. Thank you. I wanted to make my own martini money. So I worked in all these different companies, and I remember basically giving inside dish, but as an assistant designer, the designer of this company, and what we did, it was very early, I would say early Forever 21, where, and again, I'm going to age myself, we're talking the early 90s.
Yes.
And so we made knockoffs of, and which was what LA, Southern California became sort of, and that's why Forever 21 and all, it became the nucleus of the sort of the knockoff designs. Yes. And for especially for Junior wear, and for Missy wear. And so the designer above me, I was just, an assistant designer. They would literally pass over Vogue magazine, Elle magazine, Us Weekly, give me all the and I had to redraw the designs that were in the Vogue that they would put the post-its in, and I'm giving you dish. This is what you do, by the way, guys.
Amazing.
This is the old school way of being a designer.
Yes.
And so I had to redraw each design, and then take out all the fluff, because again, I'm looking at a $400 Dolce & Gabbana skirt, and we're going to sell it for $24.
Yes.
And so it's like, you can't have 24 seams on it.
Yeah, no
you
lining.
Can't have all this. As you guys know, I'm speaking your language. And so I learned early on to do that. But then, I did that for many years. And then before I knew it, I was getting bored of it. And one of my friends was a pattern maker. And this pattern maker said, and I started making stuff on my own. That's when I started, because I was bored at what I was doing, sketching. I would go home and I played a 25-year-old version of that 12-year-old Nick. So I would go home and I would go downtown LA and buy fabric, and I would start making my own mini little collections at home. Shut up, Erin.
It's
Stop
so exciting.
It.
Why weren't we friends? Why didn't we hang out together?
Stop it.
Oh, it's a dream.
Becky, where I'm just like clapping at Erin, be like, shut up.
She's usually clapping at me too.
Erin's supposed to be the good girl. She's like, yes, no, I'm not doing anything wrong. It's Erin. So I would go home and play fantasy again, where I would just make a bunch of dresses. And it was the 90s, and we were going, like I said, we were going to the club.
Yes.
And my sister was also going to UCLA, and my sister was I know you guys are just going to roll your eyes and be like, okay, I'm just going to stop you right now. My sister was a former Miss Venezuela.
What?
Okay,
and
wait a minute.
So I had, shut up, Erin.
The fabulosity
Stop.
in the family. It's just too much.
Why aren't I a part of the Verreos family?
You're an honorary member.
I'm a long lost member. What?
We can adopt you. We can
Thank
adopt you. We can do a late adoption.
She was a Miss Venezuela.
Yeah. So she was I only have to say this because, of course, if you are into pageants, you love pageants, you know that Venezuela was, the creme de la creme of pageants.
Number one.
Always number one, winning all Miss Universe, Miss World.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, so the thing is, I had this free model with me and my sister, and she was going out, and she was, tall, thin, a former Miss Venice, and I was like, if you're gonna go out, you're gonna be dressed by this boy.
Wait, were you dressing her in your pieces?
So I would make her all these little stretch, because I'm talking $2.99 fabric.
Yes.
So it was like stretchy, the OG bodycon dresses, like think Robert
Alaya.
Palmer girl.
Yeah.
But the cheap Nick Verreos version.
The mood fabrics of it all.
The mood fabric. And so, she had the body, yaddy. And so then I would go, and of course, sometimes I would go with her, and I'd be like the proud papa behind, hey, I'd be pimping her. I'd be pimping my sister.
You're catcalling your own sister. You look good today.
The inappropriateness of it all.
I still want to be part of it.
I'd be like, you need that dress tighter. I'm sorry, Rita.
Just sew it right on her.
Oh my gosh.
So anyway, so I was doing all that. So I really started getting good at sewing, at making patterns, making my own stuff. And so, like I said, long story short, a pattern maker knew that I was kind of bored in my daily job, my real job. And he's like, you should be a pattern maker. And I was like, oh, no. I was getting snobby. I was like, no, I didn't go to school to be a pattern maker. I went to school to be a fashion designer, and he's like, oh, Nick, get over that. And I was like, he goes, you can make probably more money. He's like, and it'll be something different. And and I said, oh, I can't do that. He goes, Nick, you go home and make your patterns every single night. Yeah. Like, you can do this. And I said, okay, I'll just try it. So I lied, and I don't encourage this to everyone. I lied to my boss and said I had a dentist appointment. And I'm sure I'm not the first. No. And I said, and I went to the job application, and it was a job to be a pattern maker. And I had no experience, the only experience is me doing my sister's dresses. So, and the designer handed me a photo of a jacket and basically said, make it. Like, make the pattern. That was the job interview. And I was on, and
like,
I was
in the moment, like right now.
Becky.
What?
This is like the original Survivor. Yes. This is like yes.
And so I know it was like the original Project Runway.
Project Runway. Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
And so I literally, honey, the sweat came. I mean, if you
And is he breathing down your neck, or do you have to deliver a jacket at the end of the day?
No. They left, went back into the office, and I was in a big design room with all the sewers.
Cinderella.
Like the pattern tables, and there was another pattern maker across from me. And at the time, because I was a baby, all of 29 or whatever, I thought it was, some old person, but I'm sure they were like, they're our age now, Totally. That was like, grandma is staring me down. And, anyway, so I was getting so nervous, and basically you have to make the pattern for that garment, like make the whole pattern. And on top of it, she doesn't just give me a skirt or like this stretchy top that has like a front, a back, and two sleeves. No, she gives me a whole damn jacket with the lapel, the notch collar, the two-piece sleeve,
and
the whole 9 yards. And I was,
what size are you supposed to make?
I was medium. I think the standard was medium. So anyway, I had my toolbox from Fitum, and I brought what we call blocks. We have pattern blocks. So the blocks are sort of the foundations to create other patterns. So at least I had like a cheat sheet. It's like, when you're cooking, like you pick out your ingredients to then make the mushroom risotto.
Yes.
And so, I know, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And so I had that. But anyway, so I did it. And I remember the funny thing is, so I finished it, and then I was like, girl, when I thought about it, I was like, good luck. She's like, okay, we're going to call you. We're going to have it sewn. So you're done. So we'll call you tomorrow. And I had the Becky look. With that look that Becky's doing right now.
I am shocked and shooketh.
I was like, good luck, because I don't think any of them notches are going to match. And if you are a sewer, anybody out there in the audience who knows sewing, you have, each garment has notches, the pattern, and the notches, basically they're sewing guides that help you match to match. It's like this matches to this. And so what I was saying, I was like, my notches were like here, like they were, I'm like, and here's the funny thing. While I was spending, I don't know how many hours doing that test, the sewers, the seamstresses, they were all Latina.
Okay.
And when my voice gets like this, that I'm going to tell you something.
I'm ready. I'm all ears, babe.
They were all talking about me.
But you could hear, you knew.
Because I spoke Spanish. Yes, but I had to remain all professional because I had to focus on this and not them. But they were being all... in Spanish, we say chismosa, which means, like giving, gossipy, being gossipy. And so they were just like, in Spanish, they were like, mira este, ¿quién se cree? Like, basically, they were like, look at him. Who's this young kid who thinks he's going to be a pan? He's doing this. Like, they were, so they were talking. They were talking.
A little shade.
Shade.
Did you let him know?
Shade.
Oh.
For it. And so then all of a sudden, anyway, I went home. I decided to do that. Went home. The next day, I got the call from the designer. She goes, we made your pattern. You got the job. You're hired.
Fantastic.
And then remember, I was making $400 a week. She goes, is $1,200 okay?
A week? You are rich.
Dirty martini. You get a dirty martini. You get a dirty martini.
Stretchy dresses for everybody.
Yes.
The first day, Becky's point, the first day I got there with my little red, my red toolbox, everything, I'm ready. I'm like a little, I'm like ready. And then again, you see the seamstresses, they're like this. And then all of a sudden I turned to them in my perfect Spanish. Yeah. I was like, hola, pero te quiero decir que yo no sé qué, and they were like, they thought Persian. They thought I was Iran, that I was Persian.
Okay.
Because I give that,
Because you're
because
Greek.
I'm half Greek, half Panamanian. Grew up. I blend.
Yeah, you're a man of the world.
International. It's a lovely thing.
Yes.
When I go to Europe and people think I'm French, or when I go to Greece, they think I'm Greek. If I go to Italy, they think I'm. They don't be like, "Ooh, there's the American guy." Because sometimes that cannot be taken positive in other countries. Whatever.
Yeah, there goes Chad.
Anyway, there goes Chad. So they thought I was Persian, and they told me, and so they were just sort of like. Basically, they're like, so you knew everything. I was like, yeah, of course I did. Yeah. Anyway, we became the best. What I also learned in all those years, I became a pattern maker for 10 years. Yeah. So first I assistant design, then I became a pattern maker. I learned how to construct clothes. I learned what clothes need to look like, the fit, how to do fittings. So all of that knowledge came into fruition for this plant as a designer, and also to talk about fashion. And this all came out when I started doing Evine, when I could talk about the seams and what that princess seam does, and really the magic of how, I placed this seam here to slim you down or to give you this look. And it wasn't just saying from just doing a talking point, again, from my knowledge, I felt like I had the chutzpah and the provenance and the Wikipedia to the fashion Wikipedia know of what I speak. Yes. And it was because of that knowledge and that pattern making knowledge. And it was so wonderful again to just, of course I became bosom buddies with all the seamstresses because I spoke Spanish and I was one of them. Yes. They felt that I was, that I was part of them, when a lot of times, especially in these design rooms, there's a total hierarchy, and you never at the time, you never saw people like me or a Latino person in this sort of a higher, more executive type of job as a pattern maker.
Yeah.
The seamstresses were here and they were here. And so they felt, there was this connection and it was lovely. And then of course, at the end of the night, at the end of the day, I was like, hey, if I give you $50, will you sew a dress for me?
So you had a little side hustle going too.
Yes. You know how to work those relationships.
By the way, I can't imagine. I mean, you were such a dear, dear friend to all of us. I mean, you're also wonderful to be around. So I'm sure they were just
they had
smitten
fun with you.
Yes.
I know they did.
Well, no, because also I knew that they were the reason the dresses or the garments, the tops, whatever, you have to really rely on them. Yes. And the seamstresses, it's like they're that catalyst to make your garment look good.
They made you look good.
And if they like you, they will do what I call some Mickey Mousing to make you look good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they were so lovely that, I'm sure a lot of my patterns were jacked up a little bit.
He doesn't mean that. Let me fix this for him.
That's what Becky does for me. Just in our everyday life. She's like, no, Erin didn't mean it that way.
Yes. I learned quickly to be really nice to Maria because they would do me right. Yes. If I did them right, they would do me right. So that was sort of my where I got, how I, got to where I got. And then I started, before I know it, I actually, a teacher at FITM, there was a lot of talk. I started doing big fashion shows by then, and actually I got so good to be a pattern maker, I became freelance. So I left my job and I started freelancing and I started making, guys, here's a hint. If you want to make money, you should be a pattern maker.
Really?
I started making a lot of money on my own, doing it at home. So literally, I had a townhouse in Los Feliz, and our dining room became my workroom. And I bought a pattern table. I bought the whole 9 yards. And because it was also sort of the time where a lot of these, I would call these rich Beverly Hills kids wanted to start a line.
Yes. Oh, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And they hadn't gone to fashion school. They had no training, no nothing. And of course they somehow through word of mouth, because it was, even though it's LA, it's a small town when it comes to garment and making and design and who can make your stuff look good. And I was, I guess, on the list of those people. And so I started getting these calls from a lot of these, Beverly Hills kids types that wanted to start a line, because that was the thing.
Like when Lauren Conrad had a line at Kohl's.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
And like that.
Yes.
And so then in order to have that line, you have to have samples. Yes. And so I literally I became a one-stop shop where, okay, for $10,000, I will make you your 10-piece line samples. I will do I will go from patterns to, I will have them sewn, because of course, Maria.
Yeah.
And and so then I did that, and then I started. So then that was really how I was making money. But then of course I said, then maybe with my partner David, we started sort of collaborating on creating a line of our own. Started showing at small little fashion weeks in Los Angeles, little things here and there. Did that, so it got through word of mouth. And then somebody at FITM heard about me and said, oh, this isn't a graduate. It did good. I came in to talk to the students. And afterwards, the instructor said, he pulled me aside and he's like, you're really good at this. And I'm like, at what? He goes, at just talking to the student, you really explain it. They hear you. You're not talking down to them. You're not being academic about it. And you should teach. Like, oh my God, please. So talk about, again, like what we say, your life and throws you little curveballs, as we all know, little things. And I get, throws you little apples and you're supposed to bite out of them, And so I said, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, why not? Because again, my work, I'm freelancing, I'm at home, I can do this, and then maybe I can teach at night. And so then I started teaching at my alma mater at FITM, and teaching pattern making, teaching sketching, teaching design. And, it started with one class. And then before I knew it, my boss, the head of the department, is like, your classes are, and you need to teach more class. Can you do more? Can you do more? Can you do more?
This is amazing.
And so then I started teaching that. And that was also, I was doing that. And then that's where Project Runway happened.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, set the stage.
Yeah.
The year is, what year are we in?
2005.
Okay.
05.
Okay, so here we go. So all of a sudden we heard about this show. Somebody had told me, again, the LA fashion crowd is small.
Yeah.
You would think that it was like 20 of us and that's it. So we all, started talking and said, there's some new TV show and it's about fashion design and it's about picking the next best fashion designer. It's a reality show. And I was like, ooh. And because again, think about the year 2005. The only reference I had for reality shows was The Real World.
That's right.
Yes.
MTV.
Yeah.
That
was the only reference.
No.
And so I was like, I am not getting in the hot tub drunk.
Chrishell's going to be by herself.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely not.
Do you know that my grandfather was the president of Panama? I can't be doing that.
No.
I can't. I mean, even by marriage, my great aunt is Dame Margot Fonteyn. No.
Do you know who you're dealing with?
Okay, I have a reputation. So I thought, okay, maybe it's not gonna be that. And no. Somebody said, no, I heard that you should do it. You should do it. I said, okay. So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. I always, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be 120%.
Yes.
And so I called one of, because I was doing fashion shows, I called one of my models, very good friend of mine, African-American, gorgeous beauty. She literally looked like she came out of Kenya. I mean,
fantastic.
like she just like a gazelle, 6 foot tall, gorgeous, stunning. Like the skin color is just like that chocolate that oh my God.
Yeah.
And
stunning.
My gowns on her literally just slithered off, on her. So, and because by the time I had already garnered about 20 dresses that I had made.
You already had a collection.
I already had a collection.
Yeah.
And so I said, and her name was Amara. And I said, Amara, there's a show. There's this casting. It's going to be at the Standard Hotel in downtown LA for this new show. This is season 2. Because already the season 1 had happened. So of course I researched, and that's how I knew that there were no hot tubs and no craziness. Anyway, so that's when I said, okay, this sounds okay to me. But I said, okay, Amara, they didn't ask for them. They said, you just have to show up with 3 of your garments, of your designs, and that's it. And then you. But of course, like I said, I always have to take it up a notch. And I said, well,
that's what we like about you.
Honey, I'm like, no shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I'm bringing my 6 foot tall African-American gazelle beauty of a model with me to wear my design.
And these other schlubadinkas are bringing their little garment bag and some hangers.
And you've got Amara.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It was a mess. It was a mess. So let me tell you, I remember first she showed up and at my apartment, and I gave her a day outfit, a day dress look. Yes. Because I thought it's literally 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And I was like, so then, and she had, this, it was still fabulous because it was my design.
Of course.
And so then we went, and the line was like 400 people. The line was curving around. I mean, you'd think it was like Taylor concert. You think it was like there was some concert. So the line, and so we got up and stood there.
People had to have been flying in, I bet.
Probably. Yes, so, and again, some people they literally like dragged their dress forms through the streets of downtown LA, like all chunkity chunk. And
this is before Uber could drop you off.
The hot mess express coming in.
It was a hot mess. Or the garment bags. Anyway, so there I am with Amara. She's dressed in my outfit, and somebody approaches her and taps her on the shoulder and says, "Are you a designer?" And again, we were like, there were 400 people. We were like 328. Yeah. And so somebody taps her on the shoulder and says, "Are you a designer?" She goes, "No, he is." And then she goes, "Come with me."
You got the tap on the shoulder.
We did.
Oh,
so we got the tap. Oh my God. Erin, her mouth keeps open. She is going to let so many flies in.
It's because Listen, Nick, you have no idea how obsessed I was with Project Runway. Like, no idea. I mean,
I'll give
like
you
to this day.
Bible.
Yes.
My Bible. Yes. Yes. So anyway, carry on. Okay, we're going to take a little break right there.
I got to breathe.
Yeah. Nick had so many fabulous things to say.
Go get a coffee quick.
Yes. We're going to break this into 2 parts. So we have a second part coming up right after this. Take a little break.
Go potty.
Yeah. And by the way, somebody who can talk more than us, we've met our match.
I didn't think it was possible.
Hey friends, we've got a new partner of the podcast. It's Sarah Styles Collective. She's a wardrobe consultant. She's a stylist. She's a former TV fashion host. You know her, you love her. It's Sarah Skillroot. She has launched a brand new career to help you feel confident in the clothes that you're in. If you just need a little pick-me-up by the season, if you've got a special occasion coming up, if you're just looking for what the trends are going to be next week, next year, she has got you covered. So head to Sarah Styles Collective on Instagram and let her know we sent you. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you, but if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.